Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? I know it's been quite a while since I've done a video blog like this. Been busy, we moved, getting everything set up in the new house. You know how it goes. It takes a lot, a lot of work to get that done, but we own the place. It's ours. We can do whatever the hell we want with it, which is a good feeling. No mortgage. We are owning it. And so I thought it was about time I came into my office here. I got it set up, and actually I like it a lot better than the one at my previous house. And I'm not just saying that out of favoritism, but it seems a lot more me. I got this new desk. Well, it's not a new desk. It was actually Allison's desk. I got it from work. They were getting rid of some furniture there. They wanted to get brand new office furniture, so they auctioned off the old stuff to the employees. I got this desk, two-piece set for $25. Real wood. Let me see if I can show you here. Pretty nice. That's the first piece, and then this piece right here. Yeah. Anyway. So I got my new writing space. Just got to get back to writing as much as I used to write more, but getting back into the groove of it's been a little challenging. But don't worry, the Demon Cloak of Hanael is still gonna be ready in time for the upcoming Halloween season. I know it's only it's only March, but I'll have it done. But for now, what I want to do is talk a little bit about this book. Yoakum's Compendium of Bizarre and Original Stories. Now, I know I've talked about this book before, but I wanted to revisit it because this book has a lot of stories in it, and every one of those stories has a story itself about how I came about it. These stories in here, I'll just mention, well, the first one in here is not really a story, but it's an article on my observations of the nature of evil. I call it, You Can't Spell Devil Without E-V-I-L. I pretty much wrote most of it. It would have been 1998. Yeah, when I was doing a TDY duty up at Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska. And I wrote most of this with a pencil and paper during my breaks. And when I got back to Eglin, I transcribed it all. I fleshed it out, typed it, and it became this. And then, of course, years later, I followed up with You Can't Spell Devil Without E-V-I-L update, the updated version of it. So that is the very last story in here, so it's bookended by those two. The rest of them inside are actual stories. Let's see, throw a few out here. Do Monkey Daw Hands. That's based off a little monster I had a nightmare about when I was a little kid. My family knows what I mean. Paper or Plastic. Two things brought about that story, or influenced it. The summer before my senior year of high school, I bagged groceries at Leaker's Family Foods in Valley Center, Kansas. And also around that time, I think it would have been about 1990, 1991, a movie came out called Highway to Hell. It had Chad Lowe and Christy Swanson in it. She gets kidnapped by Hell Cop and taken to hell to be Satan's bride. Chad Lowe takes his car, drives to hell, and it's a comedy. Ben Stiller's down there. He's playing, I want to say it was Attila the Hun. Gilbert Godfrey was Hitler. And it's a funny movie if you got a sick sense of humor like I do. But yeah, the whole thing is him rescuing his girlfriend from Satan so she doesn't have to marry him. That, with working in the grocery store, kind of influenced Paper or Plastic, because it's about a kid who suddenly finds himself in hell at a grocery store in hell, and he's going to be forced to work there for eternity. He has to figure out how to get out. Not to say the job was hellish, but dealing with the public can be. I mean, I never really worked retail since then. Bagging groceries in high school was the closest I ever did for retail, and I don't want to do it again. Now let's see, I got one called The Witch of Roanoke. which is my take on what happened to the Roanoke colony. Zombies prefer to be called the living impaired. A friend of mine gave me an idea for that. They're intelligent zombies. They're trying to talk to people, but the hunger overtakes them and they can't help but take a bite. So this guy's trying to, find his missing daughter, and he comes across these speaking zombies who are explaining, like, hey, don't kill us, we're just trying to talk to you. Santa's Adventure. Well, it ain't your daddy's Santa Claus story, I'll tell you that. Reindeer take over the North Pole and wackiness ensues. I've actually read it on another one of my videos. I read it on, I think it was Christmas Eve last year in 2017. If you look at my YouTube channel here, you'll see it. I basically read the whole story. Lost in One Eye. I wrote that entire story almost when I was over in Bahrain. I wrote it with a pencil and paper. I didn't have access to a computer over there. And, I don't remember. It was like maybe 30 or 40 pages. When I got home, I typed it out, fleshed it out, and it became the story it is now. Which is one of my favorites, but it's a pretty dark story. And by dark, I mean darkly humorous. But then again, when you're sick in the head as I am, you find a lot of weird things funny. And I got one called I Am Balls, about sentient testicles. And the story on that, which I think you've heard on a previous video as well. Years and years ago, I was working at a place called Central Kansas Truss in Valley Center, Kansas. They built trusses for floors and for roofs on houses. Well, my boss out there, I actually went to high school with him. When I got back from the military, I got my job back, and he was now the supervisor. Well, anyway, he said to me one day, think you could write anything? I was like, what do you mean? I'll just give you 3 words. I am balls. Write a story about that. I just want to see if you can do it. Went home that night, had a couple of beers, knocked out this story. And he's like, wow, okay, I owe you a Dr. Pepper then. So, yeah, I got the Dr. Pepper. And what else do I got here? Woes of a Space Nazi and Occurrence at Roswell. Those 2 stories, originally a long time ago, I had one I was going to call Exodus Earth. It was going to start with the Roswell crash in '47. It was going to involve the Illuminati, the Majestic 12, New World Order. The main character was going to be originally a bounty hunter. Then I think I turned him into a secret agent. He eventually became my character, Jack Miller, which I got one here called Jack Miller in Dimension C, which is also from that book. What I did was, the unfinished book was maybe 20 chapters. It just kind of fizzled out on me, so I was like, moved on to other things. But those chapters became the basis for these short stories, and a couple of them are just lifted directly. I just copied and pasted it. Because it's also about, part of the story, Hitler was helped out by the Aryan race, which they came to Earth in the 30s, and they helped him out because they were trying to conquer the Earth, but they were thwarted by, an interplanetary force, which I never got around to creating, but it kind of evolved into the Council of Bactanae that go into the Targathian series. Targathian, I've had that in my head since maybe I was 7 years old. A couple of weird dreams I had, even at that young age, became the Targathian, based off of Sargus, Targoth, and the emblem, which, I think I've shown this to you before. And no, it's not from Zelda. This predates Zelda. I was 7 years old in 1982 when I dreamt about this. So do the math on that. It's just a pure coincidence. But anyways, that story evolved. I co-opted a lot of that into the Targathian mythology, though. That's how I came up with the council and everything. But the Targathian himself has always been a character in my head my entire life. And I just never did it because I didn't think I could do it justice. But then finally one day I was like, all right, screw this. I got to make the Targathian a book. So I'm relaunching it. I wasn't happy with the way it was going, so I'm relaunching it. I'm getting new covers made. I'm vamping it up. It's going to be a lot better. And it's only going to be 6 books instead of 9. I combined a couple of books together. So that'll evolve from one book, Exodus Earth. And those short stories, Jack Miller came about from the main character. He started as a bounty hunter, then became a majestic agent. Kind of a Jack Bauer type guy. He has no problem torturing aliens. because he's trying to save the world. Except where Jack Bauer does it because it's, you know, it's important to get information because I'm trying to save people's lives. Jack Miller does it because, well, he's trying to save the people of Earth, but he also takes kind of a sadistic joy out of torturing aliens, which, you know, you got to read the stories about him to find out why. I feel it's a valid reason, but then again, you know, I'm kind of warped in the head anyway. Do that there, okay. Circle of Unlife. It's a vampire story. You know, in my mythology, vampires, when you become one, your soul goes on to the afterlife, but your physical body still runs around with the memories, and now you're a vampire. You might run into yourself. You know, your soul moves on. Maybe it reincarnates and comes back down as somebody else. That person seems familiar. Yeah, because it's you, dumbass. So, you know, that's kind of a different take on the vampire mythology. And mine don't sparkle. They enjoy killing people. They're all sadistic bastards. We are happy meals with legs to them. There's none of this, I don't want to kill humans. Now, shut up. You're a sparkling fairy. You're no vampire. You don't have fangs, chucklehead. Don't even give me that. Lord of the Fries. That is the demonic origin of French fries. And I'll just leave it at that. Because I'm sure just based off the demonic origin of French fries, you're going to want to read it. Angels, Brother versus Brother. Originally that story was called Angels at War. I just changed it to that. I thought it sounded better. Angels, Brother versus Brother. Starts off with the creation of the world. And not to put a spoiler in it, I'll just say it'll show the ultimate fate of the physical universe by the time the story ends. All my stuff, like I've mentioned before, it's the same universe. All my books, they're all the same shared universe. Continuity can be a bitch at times, but I make it work. And plus, because I do the whole multiverse, I believe in it, I can always do a story that takes place in an alternate reality, and I'll mention that in the preface. Hey, by the way, this story does not take place in the main universe, it's an alternate universe. You know, maybe somebody went left instead of right and it caused a diversion and this whole timeline sprung out, or, you know. When you're an author, you create your own universe, you can do that type of stuff. I highly recommend it, it's fun. But anyways, that's just a few of the stories that I got in here. Mixture of sci-fi, horror, and fantasy, paranormal, all that stuff. And I got a quote on the back of the book. I was once crazy, but the world drove me sane. Think about that. This is a collection of many short stories all taking place in the same universe. They tell tales of a wide variety of the strange, from a grocery store in hell, vampires, pirates, aliens, and the semi-psychotic secret agent. These stories cover a wide spectrum of contents of Yoakum's brain. So, it's available Amazon. Get it, because it's digital too. You can go down the Kindle for Amazon or on the Barnes & Noble Nook, Kobo, which I believe that's Apple or something. I don't know. But this is on. I put it on Smashwords, so it's on pretty much every digital format, as well as Amazon Kindle. But come on, nothing beats having a physical book in your hand, especially if you can get the author to autograph it personally to you, which I will do that. I don't have any other copies but this one right now. I mean, if I'm going to do it, my next book signing, and maybe I'll buy some more, I don't know. But I don't want to be stuck with a whole bunch of these things unless people are going to buy them. So if you manage to get a copy, contact me. I'll be happy to meet with you and sign it. Of course, if we live 5 states away, I can't just do that. I mean, you might have to mail it to me, but I'll sign it and mail it right back. Because, like I said, nothing beats having a physical copy of a book. Ooh. I got several autographed copies myself from other authors in the area. Let me show you. I know it's... Yeah. Those are some of my favorites right there. I will pull these out. I'll tell you a little bit about this. You know, there's a local author here in the Dallas area, Jacqueline E. Smith. I've met her a time or two. You know, she came to one of my book signings, and I've been to one of hers. And these two books here, the Cemetery Tours books, book 1 and 2. I got book 3 on my Kindle. I don't have a physical copy yet. I'm going to get one and get it autographed because, like I said, nothing beats an autographed copy. Personally, not just her name, you know, she's to Larry, you know, thanks for reading. That's what I like. You know, all these books here that I got from authors that I know personally, they're all autographed. The Raven's Daughter by Peggy Wheeler, love that book. A lot of Native American mythology in it. It's an awesome book. There's a few more that I have on the Kindle that I need to get physical copies of, because I like having them, like I said, but I don't always get around to doing that because it's easier to buy it on the Kindle, I understand. But, you know, sitting there holding a Kindle, swiping, like, not quite as fun. I don't know, maybe I'm too old school or something. Not that I don't have my Kindle, I still read off of it all the time, but like I said, the physical copies are the best. So, with that being said, let me put these up real quick. I am going to leave you now. I got some stuff to do, but I'm going to try to do these video vlogs more. You know, now that we're pretty much settled in the new place, it'll be easier. You know, get back to work writing and promoting, do some more book signings. You know, once I get the Targathian, I want to do a signing right away for that. But definitely next year, probably the Saturday before Halloween, we're going to do it again. All Hallows Reading Part 2. I want to get the same authors back if they're available. You know, Dana Burnworth, Brandon Smith, John Moody. I'm sorry, Brandon Henry and John Moody. But, you know, maybe we'll expand it out more. Maybe get a few more authors. Maybe, you know, make it a 2-day thing. I don't know yet. We still got time to plan. But the half-price books in Rockwall, they were awesome. You know, they were very helpful. The guy had a good time helping us out. You know, put our names on the intercom, say, hey, local authors, come see what they got. So we definitely want to do that again. I want to make it an annual thing every weekend before Halloween. Maybe I should do it the first weekend of October. I don't know, maybe. Just the entire month of October to me is awesome. It's Halloween season. Now, granted, September has Oktoberfest. But, you know, that's a German thing. It's to celebrate the coming of the harvest in October. So, anyway, okay, I'm starting to ramble again in my old age. I'm going to be 43 soon. I will let you go, and I will talk to you all later. And everybody have a great rest of the weekend. As of right now, it is Saturday night. It is... I got no idea what time it is. Oh, great. Clock reset. Must have had a power out at some point. Alright, never mind. I will see y'all later.